Howdy everybody, what's going on? David here with another Fantasy Grounds tutorial. This is going to be a very short, fast, and sweet tutorial on how to create a loot parcel and distribute it to your party. Now, if you're new to Fantasy Grounds, you may find this quite useful. And if you're a savvy veteran of the program of many years, you probably know what a loot parcel is and you know all about it, and this probably isn't going to be the video for you. So, if you're new to Fantasy Grounds and you're asking yourself, what is a loot parcel? Well, a loot parcel is basically, it's a package of stuff. It can be loot, it can be coins, it can be gems, it can be magic items, and what player doesn't like to get loot, right? I mean, that's what the whole point of D&D is, besides the role-playing, of course, is to gain power and to make your character the best and the baddest of all of the lands. So these loot parcels, it makes it really nice for a dungeon master. You pre-make these things, you distribute them to your players. They don't even have to open up their character sheet and write or even type anything. Well, of course they're not going to write anything. We're talking about a virtual tabletop. But they won't have to type anything on their character sheet. I mean, it auto-splits everything, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you need to take into consideration, you can make these loot parcels for any of the rule sets that Fantasy Grounds has in their store. You can even do it for the free rule sets like the Numenera rule set. You can do it for the 5e rule set. You can do it for 4e, 3.5, Savage Worlds, and the list goes on and on. You can do it for anything. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is come down here to the lower right hand corner and click on the library button. Now when you do that, it's going to pull up your library interface, and in the top portion of the library interface you're going to want to make sure that you have the parcels button checked, and it probably is already by default, but just check just in case. And you'll see right here, here's parcels. You can just turn it on and off, and it will appear here on the right hand side of your virtual tabletop. I'll take into consideration it may not look like this and it may not be in this exact position. It just depends on what rule set that you're going to create your loot parcel for. So now that we've pressed the parcels button on the right hand side, our parcels interface opens up, and if you have a new campaign it's going to be totally blank. Or if you have pre-purchased modules, then you'll have a bunch of loot parcels like this that are already in the parcels interface. But for the tutorial, we're just going to say that we don't have any. Now you can create a parcel by doing two things. You can just right click in the center of the interface and click on the create item button, or in the lower right hand side of the interface you can click on the edit list button, and when you do that there's a green arrow pops up and you can just add an item that way. Piece of cake, right? Now the next thing you're going to want to do is you want to put some treasure. You want your party to have some loot. Maybe they beat the Hobgoblin War Chief. Maybe they negotiated a treaty between two warring nations, and now it's time to give them their treasure. So the next thing you want to do is generate it. Just click on the items button here on the right hand side and it'll say items or treasure. It just depends on what rule set that you're actually using, so it may not say items. Now when you hit the items interface, all of the items that you have from all of the modules that you have activated will pop up, and we want our party to have some adamantite armor, so we're going to add that, and it's all drag and drop, guys. Everything just drags from the items into the actual parcel itself. And if you want to create custom things, you can do that as well on the right hand side, and just right click and hit create item again, and you can see it creates a blank item, and we'll just say test item. Okay. And then you can also click on the little button that'll be on the side of it, and you can edit all the information, yada yada yada, depending on the rule set. Again, it may not look like this because we are using the D&D 5e rule set for this particular tutorial. So it may look different if you're using Savage Worlds or if you're using Pathfinder or any of the other rule sets. So we're just going to take a couple more of these. We're going to say that the party had a vial of acid given to him, and also a necklace with a string of pearls on it. Now we also want to give them some treasure as well. We'll give them some gold pieces. So we'll say that it was a huge bonus. Maybe they brokered the lands, you know, the two warring lands together, or the chieftain. So we'll say that they got 1,000 gold also in the cash, or from the reward from the warring factions. So now all you have to do is just name it, and we'll call this test parcel. And you can name it anything you want. And when you do that, you'll see that test parcel shows up in your parcels. And that's a great thing, because when you create this once, you can reuse it later on. It will always be in your parcels. So if you're running another game down the line, you can use it yet again. It's really nice. It's really fast. It's easy. Sure, it takes a couple seconds to set up, but in the end, it's actually really worth it. Alright, so now we've got our test loot parcel made. The players are crying that they want their treasure, so let's go ahead and give it to them, shall we? In the upper right hand corner, click on the Party Sheet button. Now this is a beautiful thing that Fantasy Grounds has made available for us. And as a DM to another DM out there, utilize this Party Sheet, because it will make your life much easier, especially because you've got so much stuff going on, and the Party Sheet just makes everything that much easier for you. Now, there are some tabs on the right hand side, and they may look different. There may be more tabs, there may be less tabs, depending on the rule set for Fantasy Grounds that you're using, so take that into consideration. Now, on the right hand side, click on the Inventory button right here, and it'll pull up a blank sheet. And all you want to do is take your test parcel, and it's simple. Drag and drop it right into the parceled items, and you can see there's our string of pink pearls, there's our acid, there's our adamantine armor, and there's the test item that we made. And here's also the 1,000 gold. Now it's going to divide the gold evenly depending on how many players that you have. Now there may be a couple gold extra left over in the parcel. That's if it can't divide it evenly, because it doesn't divide down into electrum, silver, copper, etc., etc., etc. So now to give it to the players, all you have to do is click on the main tab up here just to see what players that you have. So we have Betty Bombshell, we have Dritston, we have Squeaky, and we have Warner. We're going to give each one of these players an item, and then it'll take that 1,000 gold and divide it equally. And then when we do so, it'll automatically put it on the player's character sheet. It'll put the gold on there. The players don't even have to open up their sheet, and it'll tell everybody in chat when we're done that you got this item or you got this much gold. It's beautiful. So let's go ahead and give the string of necklaces to Betty Bombshell. Now all you do is you just click in the assignment box and make sure, now this is case sensitive, so if I put a lowercase b, it would not assign it to Betty. So we want to put a capital B in there for Betty Bombshell, and just go to the next one. We'll give the acid to Squeaky, then we'll give the armor to Warnerve, and then we'll give the final piece of gear to Dritston, which is going to be the test item. Alright, and then just click out of the box. You can see everything's got assigned names, and all you want to do is just come down here to the Distribute Assignments and Coins, and look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. In the chat, it says Warnerve got the armor, Dritston got the test item, Squeaky got the acid, and Betty got the pearl necklace. Then as for loot, you can see Squeaky, Warnerve, Dritston, and Betty Bombshell all got 250 apiece. Nothing else is in the parcel. These boxes down here, this basically tells you who has, you know, what amount of currency, and it's basically it's for your eyes only, unless you go to the options and let the other players see it. And then the party inventory, it tells you what everybody has in their inventory. So there you go. Guys, it's that easy to do. And once you do it one time, you can save this parcel for later down the line. How cool is that? Alright everybody, that's how you make a loot parcel for Fantasy Grounds. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Did you like the video? Did you not like the video? Or do you do this differently? Feel free to comment. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until next time, happy gaming. And I love you guys.